Mirage is the most played map in all regions across all of FACEIT, and if you clicked on this video, odds are pretty good it might not be one of your best maps. My name is Hardscopes, and I am the head of content creation here at Priority Esports, and I have recruited our head of coaching to help you become a better Mirage player. All right, we are on T-side Mirage. We're going to run through the same basic information: util for A site, util for B site, how to push A and how to push B, because when you're playing on offense, not a whole lot of defense to do until that bomb goes down or bomb is rotating after a site is taken. So let's again start on A site. What do we need to know? What util do we need to throw to increase the odds of our teammates or ourselves surviving that initial push?
Awesome. So a lot of what we are doing right now and a lot of what we're going to talk about today are going to be right side smokes. I mean, we're going to focus a little bit more on your pathing as you come through A. So there's two good smokes that you can throw just from here. Ask a teammate nicely or rudely, you know, however you want to go, for another smoke. They drop you the smoke. You have two positions on this corner here. You're going to look at this top corner, this top little, I don't know what the fucking call it, roof point?
Yeah, just the ridgeline there.
Jump throw, then at the bottom and jump throw. This smokes your jungle and your stairs.
All right, so we're looking at the top corner. You're kind of in line with this door frame here. We're looking at the top corner of the ridgeline right here, and we're jump throwing that. And then we're looking at the same corner, but now we're aimed at the bottom.
Like the bottom here.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bottom left there. So top right, bottom left. It's another jump throw.
Jump throw.
And that will smoke out our
Jungle
and our stairs. And assuming these are CT players that kind of have a strategy here, know that there's a smoke, we can basically assume that this is buying us the space and kind of isolating our engagements here, because we smoked off the top of stairs, we smoked off jungle. That really only leaves CT ticket and whoever made it to site first as where we need to be fighting. So that really kind of helps isolate the fight.
Yeah, so you're splitting your sight down to like just kind of the medium to one long range fight that you have to take. So as you come through, if we assume that these smokes are up here, you're going to come here. You're primarily looking to your left. So you're going to be doing things like hugging that smoke, for instance. You can hug the smoke, make sure your bench is clear as you come up, and that gives you the opportunity to clear lower, like under Palace coming through, and then you just get into CT and you can stop here. A lot of what higher tier teams are doing, what my team does, is we'll continue through to CT and make sure we have all of that space deep so that we can just plant for CT and we don't have to worry about it post plant. The other path that you can think about taking, we'll throw these back up for this, is to, now that this is smoked, right, if you have a teammate flashing for you, you can just come close into sight and take the close fight versus going around. Probably the safer route would be just taking sight and coming through to CT. Then you're not hugging that smoke, you're not making any sound cues for them to potentially shoot through you, through the smoke to you, doing things like that. But that's generally what we're doing. And you throw some flashes in there, maybe you toss a molly as someone comes out, right? There's a little few adaptations that you can do to make your life easier, but that is the general basis of this particular util set. Is you're going to be smoking stairs, you're going to smoke jungle, have yourself, you know, maybe somebody drops you a flash at the same time and you flash, you be that guy, or they just flash for themselves as they come out. That's generally what you're looking for as you come out onto A. It's going to knock out all of the common areas, and then it's just on whoever's one man to determine if he's going to go the left route or the right route.
So really, we smoke off top stairs here, we smoke off jungle. That really kind of opens the playing field up and gives us two different strategies we can use to take all that space on A side. Like we talked about on T side here, it's our job. We need to take space, we need to take site, we need to control it, and that way we can flip into a defensive mode once we have that bomb down in the CTs, then have to push us. So kind of reverse the roles there, but we're isolating and we're providing space for the team. So say teammate throws that in conjunction with another teammate, we've got all of this smoked off, but I still want to throw util, I still want to help the team. What else can I be doing? What else can I be throwing to help us?
Okay, so if you are, you know, let's just say not the entry, right? Maybe you're the number 2 guy or the number 3 guy. We've already got this guy about to throw smokes. As soon as that first one comes out, we're just waiting. That's kind of our job right now. We need to wait, make sure we're not getting pushed. Once the smokes hit and have plumed, that's when everybody should activate. So on the run out, you can left click, just a normal left click, just over. It just has to get over the archway. Yeah, perfect. Just something off the cuff. It doesn't have to be lined up. It just has to go over the archway. Just doing something like that is going to allow your number one guy, your entry fragger, to come out and take any initial contact with the advantage that they are white. So as he comes out, he'll then make that decision. Is he going left, right? If you're, number two guy and he ends up wanting to go right, you can do this molly to help him.
Oh, that kind of molly's I don't know what the official call it is, but I call that the rat corner. You always have some guy right there.
Under Balk or under Palace.
Under Balk or under Palace. Okay.
So that's
actually
you
really
clear
good molly for a little bit more offensive play here. So we got our smoked off teammate flashed. We're third guy up. Boom. Teammate's there. Now he's panicking. Now he's running. Now he's exposing himself and taking extra damage. Boom, boom, boom. So we've got two smokes. Beautiful flash to blind anybody that's dumb enough to be out once those smokes pop. And we have an offensive molly to kind of isolate this guy, force him onto an engagement on our terms instead of having to peek him.
He'll be forced out, hopefully at this time peeking into like 2 or 3 people, and dies immediately. Gets unalived very quickly.
For our TikTok edit, yes.
Gets unalived very quickly. Then we go into like our post plants. Now a lot of the common areas are having you plant default, maybe even back triple.
Okay.
But if we do what I spoke about earlier, where we push through to CT, it's way more beneficial to just step back a bit. You don't have to be right onto triple. You just want to make it more open to CT. Again, if it's safe, if you've cleared it. If you haven't, stick to your default triple, stick to your default here. If you've got everything but CT, maybe you throw a smoke down and you plant front default for a T ramp hold, right? Because it's all about just saving your life. If you plant here and the entire team sits ramp, there's nothing they can do about it, right? You could even just one by one, make sure you go out and clear it, die, next guy, or unalived. And you just come back and you keep doing that and you keep holding it. Planting to the side of triple here is also something that I've been seeing a lot more of. And these are both perfectly fine. You just have to make sure you have that area secure so that you have enough time to put the bomb down. Doing things outside of your default plant, outside of your behind triple plant, to make it more optimal for you to live and give your living teammates an opportunity to fight, that will win you so many rounds, especially like getting into like the 20Ks of Premier. You're still going to be winning those rounds just based off of those post plant positions.
All right. So to summarize, we're taking a site. We've got our smoke lineups to cover off and isolate jungle and stairs player. We have our flashes for that entry guy, and we have a very offensive molly to throw and get rid of the under palace, under balcony player, and hopefully take that space back from the CTs that can probably get here much quicker. And for those that are brand new, Bonk was referring to this box right here with the A sign on it as our default, this box as our triple. We got 1, 2, 3 boxes right there. All right, awesome. I think that's a pretty good strategy for A site. Why don't we head on over to B site and figure out how to take B site from the CTs. All right, so we got the spawn. The team decides we're gonna push B this round. Let's talk about that entry util to take that space away from the CTs to hopefully increase our odds of getting the bomb down and winning the round.
All right, so we're going to talk about 2 different kind of options here. One's going to be your more slow setup option. The other one's just going to be a get it, just run, we're going to take it. So first thing we're going to talk about right now is just the run and take it. So as we come up here, you can anticipate a molly. All right, anticipating a molly generally means we're smoking something within this portion of apps, right? Okay. So it'll just go down, molly will get extinguished. That's usually your number 2 guy's job. You want to have your smoke out ready to go so that your first guy has nothing to worry about except for getting out and unaliving some people. Second thing that's usually pretty good. So this will be like your 3rd, maybe 4th man that's here. You were just left clicking a flash off this white blotch from this corner. It pops out of the window. It takes a little bit of coordination because if I am the one that's pushing out, I need to know not to look to my left. I can just continue through and onto site without having to worry about it. That flash is meant for your close under window hold and your cat hold. It would also flash the guy jail, which we spoke about in our CT side. So you do have to be aware of that. But it's very beneficial for your number 1 guy to know that that is coming because he can just come out and look right and not have to worry about it. It'll flash the guy jail and he can push through on that. That's a very good basic entry type of B rush util set. There is some other supporting utility you can use to adapt this, but we'll talk about that probably in later episodes. That right now where we are is just a good foundation for taking B. Just get out, take the fights, don't slow down.
Okay, so we're coming from B, our go and get it. We've got an anticipatory smoke to extinguish a molly, prevent a molly from popping and preventing us from pushing out. We have a supporting flash right here to give your entries and everybody in front of you the ability to push out while blinding anybody that could be shutting them down, and basically freeing up this fight and take B and get that plant. All right, what's the slower, more set up way to take B side? Say we decide we want a slow B push. What are we doing differently with our util?
All right. So this can be done with 2 people. I'm going to show you how you do it with 1 guy.
Okay.
Ideally, if you're trying to get things coordinated, maybe you're operating at a higher level, you can do this with 2 people and it would go a little bit more smoothly by yourself, right? So first smoke is going to be just in the middle of this post. No real general thing that you need to look at. Just get into the middle of this post. You're going to look straight up at the tower here. You're going to do a shift W. So that's a walk and release. All right, that's a little walk and release. Smokes off jail.
You said the top of the tower here.
Yeah, so it is the corner, like the far corner where I'm at, this corner right here.
Okay, so
and you just shift W.
Shifting W.
And just tap it. Yep. Yeah, it's good. A little bit too deep, but I mean, it's not bad. It would get the job done. You kind of want to just shift and tap it.
Throwing smoke.
There you go. That's perfect.
So it is just a tap on W. So we're lining up with the middle of the pillar. Aiming right there at this corner. Shift, tap W, release that smoke grenade, and it's going to fly over the roof. Smoke off the jail player. Does it have any impact on bench?
Yeah, jail and bench.
All right, secondary.
Smoke.
Where else we throw?
So this secondary smoke is at that same corner, just at the middle of this post, and it's just a left click.
All right, so next smoke to throw is this middle pillar. Line up with that same corner. Depends on the size of your reticle, but if you're using a pretty normal size reticle like the 2 of us are, kind of line up this left side here with the edge, and it's just a regular old left click throw. All right, so where's that land? What's that do for us?
So that's going to be landing kind of right under your window drop off. When combined with that second smoke, which I can rethrow here, it gives you a little pathway. All right, this pathway your entry can then fight through, and then the second guy, who preferably has the bomb, can shove it right in this corner, right on the edge of the smoke, and then fall off.
That's actually pretty powerful. If you have this guy completely blinded by smoke, can't see what's in front of him, because people definitely don't cheat on Valve secured servers, and you have somebody sitting right here that's completely smoked off. We saw there's a pretty decent pathway for you to just walk through. You could almost take B by yourself. Now, you're still exposed there, so what else can we throw to make this guy?
So from that first util set that we talked about, just that standard little left click is going to get them out, right? That's going to land into the smoke. Actually, if you time it correctly, it'll land into the smoke, blinding people as you come out, letting you get the bomb down, and then coming back out, post-plant van, or if you've got, let's say, maybe 2 good aimers on your team, you can then push through, wait for these smokes to go, operate off of those smokes, push through, do your Stewie 2K through the smokes, that kind of stuff, and take this space. Perfectly fine, but you've just planted 4 apps. So at least 1, maybe 2 of your players that were still throwing utility, they can just chill up there and wait the timeout. Ideally, they've got mollies that they can use, things that will delay the defuse more, so you should be able to win off of that fairly quickly, or fairly easily, I should say, versus coming out here with a couple of flashes and just trying to force aim fights, which has a time and a place, and that's for eco rounds.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, that'll be in a later episode. Okay, so that's A site, that's B site, that's both fast B and slow calculated B. Let's take that mid control away from the CTs. What do we need to do? What do we need to throw? What do we need to know to control mid on T side? So we know how to take A, we know how to take B, but as we talked about on our CT side of the video, there's a lot to be gained by controlling mid. So how can we take that control as T side to increase our chances of winning and shutting down the CTs, taking that space from us?
Absolutely. So we'll talk about a lot of the mid smokes that you'll see a lot of pros throw. They are fairly meta. If you've got the spawn, you're kind of meant to throw this because it helps you take mid control a little bit better. So there's 2 that can do basically everything that we need. You've got this back right spawn.
Okay.
And you've got this back left spawn. Back left spawn is spawn 10. You're going to be looking at this kind of dark patch on the window to the left of the window, and you're just doing a W jump throw. This W jump throw will take that smoke all the way into window.
Dark patch to the left of the window.
Yeah, so from your position, it's going to be this little dark patch right here in the middle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure you get your
And you
eyes
just do
tested
it.
before you play T-side Mirage. Shit. All right.
Yeah.
Dark patch, middle of the window. You said that's just regular
W
jump throw? W
W
jump.
jump through. So it's like a dark patch, and then where like you can kind of see the corner bends a bit.
Throwing smoke.
There you go. You hit it.
Okay. What did I just smoke off from T-spawn?
Window.
So that's the window smoke. Okay. And that's an insta smoke too. So that will get there long before any of us do.
If you time it right, it'll get there right as your front guy goes for the pick.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So that's insta window.
insta window from spawn 10 or left backside spawn. Where else
So
are we
this
throwing?
one
Take-
has another one.
Okay.
If
Same
you go
spot.
Yep. Spawn 10 again. Go to the same spot. From the right corner of this window, you'll see this black dot. This black dot with a W jump through lends you to a fairly good cat smoke. Has its own adaptations that we'll talk about later as we learn how to use this utility. But this smokes off your cat, and it's deep enough that it blocks most of the vision from ladder. So as you're coming up and you're taking control, you have about your 20 seconds to fight in the mid without having to worry about cat. You do need to be aware that they can push through it because it's not a wall, right? They can just run through it. So as long as you're ready for that fight, for that really open, easy fight that you can take, it is a very good piece of utility to know.
Gotcha. So, all right, Superman.
So from-
fly up. Show me
Yep.
where I'm aiming at.
So from spawn 10, you're looking at this second black dot. It's like right there. It's that one.
That one. Okay. So spawn 10, sitting here, and that was just a traditional jump throw, or is it
W jump.
W jump.
Yep.
Smoking.
Perfect.
Cool.
Plume's nice and big, blocks off ladder room, gives you time to fight up mid faster. The other thing that we are going to talk about is from spawn 9. So in spawn 9, where the red meets the white on this corner, you're going to put your crosshair right on that little line that they meet. W jump, that goes straight through to window room. And because it lands more in the middle, it helps this corner peak that we were talking about. Just doesn't eliminate it, but it helps it, makes it a little bit thicker for them.
Okay.
There you go. So go ahead. You're going to be looking where the red and that white meet, right on that corner.
Okay.
And W jump through.
Throwing smoke.
Well, that
I
just
think you
barely
feel it at
makes
the
it
bottom of your jump. I don't know. There you go. Yeah, that works. That hit.
over. And
There you
so
go.
that smokes off.
And
where?
so that is window.
Okay.
And then you can do window and cat from here. Yeah. And then the con, to help con, super simple. You just come in here. I like this lineup. It's just a jump throw on the carpet there. So on the carpet where there's like a gap between these two red things, you're just putting your crosshair in the middle of it and jump throw. So like this area here, you just aim right in the middle.
Okay.
Jump.
I was aiming at the wrong spot entirely.
There you go.
Nice.
So
That was
the second stair is good.
Mhm.
Nice full con smoke. A lot of people try to aim to get their smoke on the third stair there.
Okay.
This one. But if it lands kind of far up enough, it doesn't really matter. It can be on the second stair. It doesn't matter. We'll
Okay.
do that again. We'll just come here in the middle, jump through.
That's going to land con, and that's going to be deep enough in con to where it's going to fill out that entire area and shut down any sort of visual information unless they're shooting through the smoke to create that window that we talked about when talking about our window player. But of course, that will give them away because we know where the bullets are coming from.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are some insta smokes to take that mid push. Really, I think the flash is kind of situational. Obviously, you're not going to want to throw a flash from T spawn, so we can just hop one before we
Yeah.
get there. And then boom, swing, and window player is dead. And that is how we take top mid on T side. Again, a lot of emphasis on those smokes because that's going to block off their line of sight. They won't be able to report back to their team or their opper how many of us are peeking this corner into when. So that gives us the advantage. And again, mid is one of the most important, if not the most important spots on this map to know how to control and know how to take. So you definitely want to rewind if you have to, but make sure you get those smoke lineups down.
Just combine that with a little bit of flash so you can get out a little bit more securely. You'll be all right.